Hello, my name is Professor Pineda Hercules, but you can call me Anthony. Today I am going to teach you how to use a Ti-84 to solve simple statistical and calculus problems. Using a Ti-84, I will take your life from absolute misery to fantastical wizardry. Now, I have taken a lot of AP classes in my time, especially math. I've taken AP Calc BC, AP Stats, and Calc 3 at a college. As such, I would consider myself to be quite adept at using a Ti-84. The purpose of my mini presentation today is to teach you how to use a Ti-84 in order to solve simple calculus and statistical problems, and hopefully, over the course of this video, you will learn how to do more than that by using the same concepts I teach here and apply them to other problems. According to an article written by Tech Powered Dad in the Tech Powered Math blog in 2016, the Ti-84 still is consistently one of the best calculators to use for general math, which is why we today are going to learn how to use it. Now, before we begin, there are a couple things you'll need. One is obviously a Ti-84 calculator, and the other one is a piece of paper and a pen to write down some of the equations that we're going to be using and knowing how to access them from the calculator. First problem we are going to do is a simple integral problem. Now, something you want to avoid is ever being in degrees. For calculus, you will always be using radians as we use sine, cosine, tangent, and their opposites. So, before we do anything, we should go into mode, go all the way down to where it says radian and degree, and select enter on radian, just to make sure that we're in radians. Now we can second quit, and now we can start the integral. Now, the first step is to press the math button, which will take us to math. There are a set of 9 options. We are going to go down to 9. If we press 9, we are going to get the simple basic showing of an integral. So our bounds, parentheses where we'll put the actual equation, and the dx. For this integral, we're going to put our bounds from 0 to 2, and our equation is going to be a cosine 2x equation. Now, once you press cosine, you'll see that the first part of the parentheses will show up. Inside, we are going to put 2x, and we are going to close the parentheses. It is very important that we close the parentheses, otherwise the integral function will not work. After that, we're going to go D and press X, just like that. We press enter, and it gives us an answer. The second problem we are going to be working with is statistics, specifically a chi-squared test. So, do a chi-squared. First, you press the stat button. We will go all the way to tests, and we are going to go all the way down until we reach chi-squared goodness of fit test. Now, we're going to press that, and it's going to give us an observed list, an expected list, and the degrees of freedom. Now, for the observed and expected lists, you will basically have 2 sets of data. One of them, which is saying the expected amount of anything, and the other one, the observed amount. You are basically conducting a study for yourself and then comparing it to what expected, maybe more scientific things are saying about whatever you're trying to calculate. Now, for us, we are going to use this list of 8 numbers to calculate the chi-square. Now, we're going to go back to stats, go to tests, go all the way down again, chi-square goodness of fit. And as you saw, we had 4 rows in both columns. Now, in order to find the degrees of freedom for a chi-square goodness of fit test, we are going to just subtract 4, which is the amount of rows that there were, minus 1. So therefore, our degrees of freedom is 3. Now, we are going to press calculate, and we are going to get a p-value and a chi-square value. The most important value here is the p-value. Now, this test is to conduct statistical significance. If your p-value is greater than 0.05, that means that there was no statistical significant difference between data. However, if your p-test score is less than 0.05, then you are going to have statistical significance, meaning that there was a difference, and it was significant. And with that second problem, you have now learned how to solve simple calculus and statistical equations. According to an article written by the Math Giraffe team in 2017, there needs to be a healthy balance between your usage of a calculator and doing hand calculations. As such, even with this new Ti-84 experience that you now have, it's still important that you actually learn how to do things by hand. But still, don't forget that a Ti-84 is basically wizardry and will be very helpful to you in whatever calculations you will need to be calculating in the future. These are my sources, and thank you.